Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning to you on this Thursday, November 21st. So wonderful to have you in company for another Morning Barbados presentation. I'm Tisha Hines. I'll be here with you until 8 o'clock, of course, with an amazing team working behind the scenes as well. So go grab your cup of coffee or hot document, whatever it is, and prepare to have a wonderful morning with us. Today we're going to be talking about better sleep practices for baby when you bring baby home. Dr. Gillian Birchwood is going to be in, and we also have a forensic trained nurse who is going to join her to talk a little bit about how important it is to take care of those little ones by not necessarily bringing them into the bed, particularly when mom is very, very tired, and some of the consequences that we are seeing here in Barbados. So we want to really take a deep look at that. Plus, we have Raphael Saul coming in. He will be here with Cheryl Ford, and they're part of the Matthew Ford Foundation, Memorial Foundation. The annual lecture is coming up. We want to hear a little bit more about that as well. I'll update you on what's happening throughout the morning as well, but we have some fantastic news that we want to start with. We will detail it a little bit more, and it really is coming in as we speak. We're getting news that the Barbados team representing us in Miami at the Taste of the Caribbean, that's now back for the first time since 2019, where Team Barbados took gold on everything. Fingers crossed. We're waiting for the official news. I believe some photos have been sent, but you'd know that we took gold in 2019 and there hasn't been a competition since then. Yes, it is true. There they are. So we've taken every single title we set out to take, from junior chef to pastry chef to senior chef to mixologist. We definitely have done a fantastic job. Dijon Toppin is Junior Chef of the Year. Rashina Curtin is Pastry Chef. She took silver for her presentation. Senior Chef Ronaldo Joseph, he took silver. Alex Chandler took gold, the mixologist, that's him right there, as well as best non-alcoholic drink for him. And Junior Chef won most creative dish overall. So they won Caribbean Team of the Year for 2024, bringing home titles in every single category. So congratulations to them. We were there for the entire journey. They came in throughout the entire process and shared with us, and we are happy that they've been able to win in such a resounding way. Congratulations to Team Barbados. And of course, management, Chef Adrian, he's the one who shared the great news this morning with us. Now, we want to start by talking to you about something very, very important, particularly in this month of November, the month of our independence. The Cabinet of Barbados has established the National Emblems, Symbols and Celebrations Advisory Committee to review and make recommendations on the nation's emblems, symbols, and celebratory practices in Barbados. And to talk to us about it a little bit more, we have Professor Dwayne Devonish, who's a member of the advisory committee, along with Dr. Charleston Brathwaite this morning, wearing his hat in that capacity as well as a part of the advisory committee. So good morning to you, gentlemen. Wonderful to have you here.
Good morning. And good morning, Barbados.
Absolutely. And good to see that you're out in your national colors as well and representing. So I'll start with you, Professor Devonish. Talk to us a little bit about this advisory board and why it was necessary to have such a committee to oversee these national emblems.
Okay, so Keisha, as it's important for us to consider that we've transitioned to Republic in 2021. but that transition is in status. There are still many things in our society that are in transition and lagging behind that status. Now, as you are aware, that the government of Barbados has set up committees for reviewing the parliamentary process. There's a committee set up for reviewing the Constitution to ensure that these things are brought in alignment with our Republican status. Now, there's one dimension that is critical, and that encapsulates our national emblems, symbols, and celebrations. These are important devices that bring us together as a people under a common national identity. I believe the Cabinet of Barbados saw it necessary to form this national committee, and is an advisory committee, which means that we're here to provide recommendations on the basis of public consultation. And I'm going to let our deputy chairperson speak a bit more on that. But the entire remit is ready to look at where we are in terms of important devices or emblems like our flag, our coat of arms, our anthem, our pledge, even things like, do we consider cocoa and flying fish still our national dish? Probably having a consideration as to whether we should have a national sport, a national drink. These are all important things that are core to us as a people. And I think as anything evolves, we too must evolve as well.
All right. How important is it now as a republic to be able to kind of expand our offering, or maybe cast the net a little wider to include some of these other things that Mr. Devonish is talking about?
Let me say how pleased I am to be here, and how pleased I am to be a member of this committee. In a real sense, I see these emblems, celebrations as critical parts of our development. I always maintain that the development of a country is a journey. It's a journey of progress. It's a journey that has to be understood in the context of change, a changing world in which we live. And as we change, we need to review, relook, determine whether the things that we do are still relevant, and whether there are new things that we should take on board in order to, I would say, consolidate our national identity. And I think that these are some of the things that are engaging the attention of the committee. I think the cabinet, in its wisdom, established this committee to look at these things and determine how do we move forward. Are the things that we do today, the emblem, the national anthem, are they still relevant? Are they still the things that we should be doing going forward as a republic? And I think this is important. I always say that these are the foundations of our national identity. When we go abroad and we say we are Bajan or we are Barbadian, people want to know, what is that? What does that represent? What are the things that are characteristic of your country? And I had the unique experience of being ambassador to China between 2014 and 2017, and having to represent my country in China, the People's Republic of China, provided me with a unique opportunity to relook the emblems, to relook the characteristics of my country, because what mirror image do you present to the Chinese? What is it that you say to them, I am Barbadian, I represent my country? And I remember being there and having the opportunity to look at Barbados from that distance and recognize, at least at that time, there were 10 things that stood out to me as being very important. And one of the things that stood out as being important for us was our national anthem. Our national anthem, when it is played in foreign lands, people are amazed at the beauty of the words and the music. I remember several ambassadors in Beijing saying to me, you have a beautiful national anthem. I admire the national anthem of Barbados. And I think it is things like that that become symbols of our existence, symbols of our identity, the words, the music, the effort that has gone into making these things the foundation of our development. And as we move from the colonial status to Republican status, it is necessary to determine whether these things are still good whether they should change and what should we do going forward.
Absolutely.
And so I'm indeed pleased to be part of the committee.
So what processes will be employed to be able to make these determinations, whether consultations, through meetings, how are you going to go about kind of dissecting what's there and figuring out what goes forward, what might need to be considered, etc.?
Okay, so the committee is actually planning to engage in a serious national media campaign. We are looking at traditional and social media to be leveraged to engage the Barbadian public to comment on all of these emblems and symbols. I think we are doing this in phases over the next, let's say, 6 to 9 months up to a year, to look at how Barbadians feel about the flag and how they feel about the coat of arms. So, for example, the social media becomes an important platform. We're hoping to have, images of our flag and coat of arms on those platforms, and for Barbadians, inviting Barbadians to comment. Do they think that the flag is still relevant, the way it's set up, or the coat of arms, or the national pledge? But we're not only using social media. We recognize that there's a major contingent of Barbadians who still frequent traditional media, like radio, TV. In fact, our presence here on Mornin Barbados is part of that engagement with the public. Now, I dare say that there will be a culmination in public face-to-face seminar or forum where we'll be inviting Barbadians to come out online, face-to-face, to discuss further what they would like to see. If they say that the flag should remain as it is, then so be it. But we really want to have that wide cross-section, young, old, male, female, across all walks of life in Barbados to be able to share their perspectives. Now, I should also say that the committee has an educational function and not just an engagement function. Because if you think about it, Keisha, when was the last time you pitched marbles? There are a lot of Barbadians who do not know anything about pitching marbles. There are a lot of Barbadians who don't know about cuckoo and flying fish. There are a lot of Barbadians who don't even know how to recite the anthem or the pledge. And I think, yes, I think we've done a very good job at the level of the schools, the primary and the secondary schools. But I think we need to have a much larger nationwide educational program on our emblems, our symbols, and of course our celebrations.
What role will this committee play? And this might be a tad bit forward thinking, but even now, it's important to have those intergenerational conversations so that even as we continue to make history, that in and of itself is shared with future generations and younger Barbadians. So I'll let you think about that a little bit as we go to break. And when we come back, we're going to continue this discussion on the relevance and importance of our national symbols after this break. Do stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
My friend, you don't plan to get it. Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
94.7 FM with the kind compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL and Probiotics. Guardian General Insurance Limited and the Cut and Drive Network brings live coverage of Cricket West Indies Home Series October 31st to December 19th. Join the action, brought to you by Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL and Probiotics. Guardian General Insurance Limited. Live safe, live easy, and the Cut and Drive Network.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so welcome back to Morning Barbados on this Thursday. It's nice and crispy outside, not as warm this early as it has been on other days. We're still here with Professor Divination, Dr. Brathwaite, looking at the committee and the hard work that you have ahead of you, but very, very important work. And, during the break, the conversation continued. What we were talking about generally is, and what I kind of hearkened to just before we went to break is, how do we continue the conversation so that we bring younger Barbadians along, even after decisions are made on national symbols and so on. We continue to make history every single day, Dr. Brathwaite. So, I would imagine that the committee will want to put in place mechanisms to ensure that we won't have to necessarily bring back a committee to look at national symbols in this way for maybe another 100 years.
Maybe before that. But in any case, I think it is important that we recognize that the development of a country is an evolution. It's a journey. It is not something that starts and stops. I remember growing up as a boy, and in those days here in Barbados, we did not have crop over. We did not have road tennis. These are things that have evolved over time, and they reflect in a real sense, the growth and development and the national development of our country and the development of its national identity. For example, no one can doubt the tremendous expressions of cultural diversity that has come out of crop over. A richness that we didn't even know was there has emerged in our country, which flourishes every year in terms of calypso, in terms of dance, in terms of music, in terms of poetry. These expressions are expressions of our identity which we must capture and use as the foundation of our development to show our people that we too are important, that we have an important role in this world. I think road tennis is another example of a creation, a new initiative that strengthens community development, that brings people together in the community and helps to foster the spirit of communication and cooperation at the community level. These are things that are important. When I was growing up, we used to celebrate Guy Fawkes Day. We decided that was not relevant. We used to have Nelson in Bridgetown. We decided that is not relevant to our reality today. We have put our national heroes in the middle of Bridgetown. So the country is evolving. The country is changing. And I will tell you a little story, which I think a lot of people do not know. When I was appointed ambassador to China, my credentials, that particular document that is the instrument of cooperation between countries, had to be signed by the Queen of England at the time. I remember waiting for a response from the palace to get my credentials. Today, that credential would be signed by our new president.
Yes.
A reflection of our maturity, a reflection of our identity as a sovereign nation, and not having to send the request to the palace in England for it to be approved. There was a case in that context where the credential said, would you convey on this our servant the privileges and immunities that are consistent with his status as an ambassador? That came from the Queen of England. Today, it comes from someone who looks like us, who's a representative of us. And this is important. Sometimes we ask, what does Republican status mean? It means that we have matured. It means that we have accepted our manhood and our womanhood to become important and distinguished citizens of the world. So that in this process of seeking the opinion of the community, seeking the opinion of the society, it's all part of growth. It's all part of saying to you, you are important. I remember looking at the process for the development of the flag, and 1,039 entries came in to determine the flag that we have, which was a consultation.
Yeah.
That's an example of people's power, people's empowerment. Getting the opinion of our people is vital to our progress going forward. That's democracy in action.
Yeah, your thoughts on the importance of this entire process?
I think it is absolutely necessary. As Dr. Braffett highlighted, we are evolving and things change. And if we look at our emblems and symbols as the core to our national identity, they too are subject to evolution. And I think it is an historic moment when we can bring together Barbadians from all walks of life to comment on what these things are to them, what do they mean to them. And at the same time, I think the other side of the importance of our work as a committee is the educational function. Remember, there are still many Barbadians who are not fully familiar with these emblems. They're not fully familiar with the origins, things like our flag, our coat of arms, what do they mean, our pledge and our anthem. And I think if you think about you talk about the next 50 years, 100 years, think about a young person now who's 20, in their 70s, they can say, I contributed to that flag. Yes. I contributed to that new coat of arms. Or even if it stayed the same, I actually contributed to the process. I was engaged as a citizen. That is what we do. And that's who we are.
It definitely is. It definitely brings some interesting things to mind that we must consider as a country. Do you foresee that there might be any challenges in this particular process? Because sometimes, people can be so divided in their thoughts of what is and what isn't, particularly when it comes to things of national interest. I mean, even if we start up a conversation about national dishes, I'm sure we will have a little division or a lot along age lines in terms of, whether cuckoo is still, as you mentioned, our national dish, or if we might need to talk about something else. I fear the day that somebody will stand up in a meeting and say macaroni pie should be noted as Barbados national dish, but that is a very real conversation to be had.
I really think that as we mature, as we grow, we may even get to the stage where we may decide that there's no need for one national dish. There may be national dishes. If you decide, okay, it's cuckoo and flying fish, but it's also black pudding and sauce, and it's also macaroni pie.
And we will argue about the black pudding.
Yes.
And
that's true.
And that can be a very interesting argument. But at the end of the day, it is what defines us. What it is that the majority, and I think this is the emphasis, that the majority prefers, or the majority would like to see, or the majority understands. Because there will always be diversity. There will always be differences of opinion. There was always Chinese food. Chinese food is not just chow mein or Peking duck. It is Chinese food. And it's a whole set of combinations that come together to make that what it is. So, in a real sense, as we mature, we come to new realizations, we come to new understandings, and we reflect life differently. When, again, I go back to my Chinese experience because it's such a remarkable experience, and I must tell you that when I was there, I found out that our now national hero, Robin Rihanna Fenty, was better known in China than the ambassador. The young people knew of Rihanna and her music and her songs, and some of them knew that it was from Barbados. In fact, I had to correct many of them who thought it was coming from the United States. And I had to say, no, Rihanna is from Barbados. And this is important, that we identify what are the things that make us proud, what are the things that we can show as being, and then they said to me, can everybody in Barbados sing like Rihanna? And I said, yes, we have great singers. have great singers. We have people who can sing in our country, and they do a very good job at it. And so it was. And I think also I had the opportunity to tell them about rum. I said, you know, rum is one of the things that we drink in Barbados. It was started in 1703. And they say to me, 1703? The Chinese are very interested in history. So when I told them we have a drink that was concocted in 1703, they were fascinated. I said, we would like to have some of that. You know, this is the kind of things that are important because they become national items, national things that you can showcase. So in a real sense, this is educational. And I think that we as Barbadians and we as members of the committee have a responsibility to seek public opinion, to expose our people to these realities. I think that civics as a subject should become one of our subjects in schools to teach our children about the importance of national identity so that when they leave Barbados and go abroad, they can be proud citizens.
And talk about all the things that make us who we are.
And they can talk about the beautiful things about this beautiful country.
Absolutely.
The things that are so characteristic of us. The things that we hold dear and hold proudly too. Really, this is a great country.
I'm
and
convinced,
we should make
Dr.
sure
Bradley, I'm
that
convinced. The work of the committee. You don't have to go any further. Quickly, Professor Devonish, next steps. What's going to happen next?
Okay, so the committee is currently embarking on a nationwide media campaign. And we will be coming to Barbadians via social media. We'll be displaying the emblems, the symbols. We'll be asking questions that would be inviting comment and feedback on where do they see these emblems and symbols and celebrations. We'll be going on the traditional media routes. We'll be going on TV, we'll be going on radio. So we're asking all of the Barbadian public to look out and to participate in this process. This is not just a process for the committee, but this is a national process for all of us to really feedback and really to input our recommendations and our evaluations and our conclusions about where we want to be with respect to these emblems and symbols and celebrations.
All right, wonderful. I want to thank you both for coming in, Dr. Brathwaite, Professor Devonish. I am definitely all amped up about thinking about it. Even looking at the Pride of Barbados flower there on the Morning Barbados symbol
national
as we
flower now.
represent in national colors. Will these be our national colors going forward? Who knows? Thank you both for this thought-provoking interview this morning. Certainly kind of sets the mind ablaze as it should.
Yes.
Have a great one.
Thank you.
And we look forward to hearing more about the committee. I'm sure you're thinking about it as well. Adding macaroni pie as one of our national dishes. Blasphemy! All right, time for a break, but stay with us. We have more coming up.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. and together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey, 29 minutes now before 7 o'clock. I'm so pleased to have this next conversation for many, many reasons. You know how we love to see familiar faces, but that's our story in Barbados. You know, that's why Damien Marvey's song, I Know the Face, did so well. Because you see people and you either know the face or you know the person, but either you know somebody, small community. I have to say a very special good morning and welcome to Raphael Saul.
Good morning,
and
Ticia.
Cheryl Ford.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to both of you this morning. Cheryl is wearing a different hat. You're going to see her a little later down this month wearing a different hat, but for this morning, she is Public Relations Officer with the Matthew Farley Memorial Foundation, and Raphael is a representative of the foundation. So wonderful to have you here to talk about this gentleman just after we talked about people and things of national interest that have helped to change the trajectory of our society. Is just very fitting to be able to have a conversation about the late Matthew Farley. Let's talk a bit about the foundation and the establishment of it before we get into the crux of our discussion today.
Yeah, sure, Ticia, and morning again, Morning Barbados. I don't think this interview could have been any better placed.
Yes.
Because we're coming just on the heels of talking about all that makes us Barbadian, all that makes us proud, and those things which are features and help to distinguish us as the people of excellence that we are. And Matthew D. Farley himself was not just a treasured son of the soil, not just someone who's made a tremendous contribution to the development of the educational landscape of this country, but he was a treasured uncle, a treasured brother, father, family man, one of the most notable figures in our educational history as a country, a no-nonsense principal, a strong proponent for education and its value to contribute towards national development. And so the establishment of the foundation in November of 2023 not just immortalizes his legacy, but it shines a spotlight on the rich contribution he has made to the development of our educational landscape through his writings, through his commentary, through his radio program, and certainly one of the things the foundation was very proud about was the writing of the book, In the Candid Corner, a collection of the articles which he published in the Nation newspaper. And so the foundation really it's a hot spot where we're looking to draw attention to how significant his contribution was, but also create a space there to continue that legacy. The foundation has a number of objectives, and I'll just highlight two of them. First, yes, to contribute towards the development of education in Barbados. Also, the Matthew D. Farley Memorial Scholarship, which seeks to assist needy students at various secondary schools. And so we're looking to ensure that all the work that he had done during his lifetime to really stoke the fires of educational development, and now we're in a season of education transformation. And I've heard so many people across the country say, imagine what the landscape would have been like now if we had the voice and the mind and the contribution of Matthew Farley in this era. So I'm happy to say we do, in the form of his thoughts, his words, his writings, and then through the work of the foundation, which is seeking to carry that legacy on for years to come.
Absolutely, and one of the ways that you're doing that is through the memorial lecture, which is what we're here to alert Barbadians to. It's coming up in a matter of days. Tell us more, Cheryl.
25th of November, and this is one of our really icons. As we said, as Rafi said last year, we launched the foundation, and it's going really well. That was an excellent presentation. We really do need to thank Dr. Paulina Saul for her insights and her ideas that she can launch this foundation in honor of her brother, and she's the forerunner of this. So we launched last year, and now this year we decided we're going to have a lecture this year, because as Rafi said, one of the things we also want to do every year, we want to find an activity or program that we can highlight him more and his work and the causes that he have exhibited. So this year we are doing a lecture, and the title of the lecture is Re-Exploring the Ideas and Perspectives of Matthew Farley in an Era of Education Reform. Because as we talked about, education is being reforming. So this is a perfect time to have this lecture. And who's the presenter? The Honorable Senator, the Honorable Chad Blackman. And he has agreed to come and be the presenter. And on the 25th of November, we will meet, that's a Monday, at the 3Ws Pavilion at KFL campus. And that begins at 7 o'clock. And one of the things we're going to be doing is not just you come and hear a lecture. It's going to be filled with activity. We're going to be having the Graydon Seeley School orchestra playing. We're going to have excerpts from the book readings. We're going to be doing, we're supposed to be hearing the icon. Gabby, supposed to be
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for that one. And so it's going to be an evening of interesting information sharing, fellowshipping. You can say that, fellowshipping and meeting other persons. In addition to that, one of the things the foundation do is they have been able to grant scholarships in his honor to his school, his alma mater, Graydon Seeley Secondary School, because we know his affiliation with that. So each year, last year, we were able to present 3 awards, 2 scholarships, and this year we're going to be doing presenting 3 scholarships again to 3 students from the school.
That's exceptional. Even as you sit there with the book, Raphael, I'm sure there are particular articles that hit you in a specific way. And I know of Chad's background and drive with education and all of that. So he's a very fitting presenter, I dare say, on this occasion. But for you, are there any pieces that from that come to mind, even as you explore this theme through the lecture of transformation of education, because that really was his mantra?
Absolutely. It's funny you mentioned Chad. Sorry, let me be more correct. The Honorable Minister Chad Blackman.
Senator, the Honorable Senator in the front behind.
Give him the right
a friend of mine, so I know he'll forgive me. His story actually intertwines beautifully with that of Matthew D. Farley. Matthew Farley was actually his teacher at the now Shirley Chisholm School, then Vauxhall Primary School, and he credits his experience under Matthew Farley's leadership as playing a critical role in the early shaping of his mind, his perspective. And so now you have this full circle moment where the Honorable Senator, Minister Chad has this opportunity to deliver the keynote address at the inaugural memorial lecture, which immortalizes the memory of someone who has made a significant contribution to his own life. So, fun fact, which I thought it would be good to highlight, and we also have a student who's going to be participating in the lecture who shares a similar experience, who was a student of his while he was principal at St. Mary's, and also a student of his while he was principal at Graydon Seeley, then the Garrison. So we're bringing together these experiences and these perspectives to really share how a life well lived, a life poured out, a life that was not hesitant or was not bashful about speaking out.
A life
about
shared
the shared
with the people of Barbados, especially the youth.
Absolutely. So you mentioned articles. I just found this one that I think speaks quite beautifully to the whole idea of a society at the crossroads, which is where we really are currently, even in the context of our educational transformation journey. The article, so I'll just read a few lines. For over 20 years, our society has voiced its concern about the level of lawlessness among many students across the school system. Sounds like today.
Today.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
Literally today, we're having this conversation. The print media has brought visuals of students walking the streets with shirts outside the trousers, pants below their behinds, students climbing through PSV windows, girls wearing skirts that are stunningly short to school, and it goes on to explore what the White Paper on Education in 1995 highlights about the disturbing features that have become apparent among some school children. Where are we now? In almost 2025. You could almost say we're in 2025 years later, and we are seeing some of the same strands of deviance, of mischief, and the same concerns that were raised back then. Now, yet the same society that was at a crossroads then, facing some of these same challenges now, must believe in its own ability to devise and design solutions that will help to chart a better course forward for this country. He believed it. He spoke about it every week in his columns. He spoke about it every day to his students. You'll hear some of that at the lecture. When you attend, I'm saying when you attend.
Yeah.
You'll hear about that at the lecture.
Yeah.
But he's given so much that really could form a part of the solution we're now trying to develop to help chart a new course for our country and our educational landscape.
Now, nephew Raphael, I can see a part of his style of presentation and reinforcement, even in you. Yes. Yeah, so I really look forward to it. No need for a registration.
No. But if you are really interested in coming, you can contact us.
Yes.
Raphael or myself, Cheryl Ford, and Raphael Zoll, and let us know you're coming, because we can only accommodate about 130 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, because the venue is not a big venue.
Yeah, and I love that it is a memorial lecture, but it also encompasses some of the people will get a chance, people who he interacted with, former students, etc. So I want to thank you for coming in and sharing with us. We most certainly will remind people about it, and for people to reach out and get in with a chance to be a part of it. It really is something we should be sharing with the nation, Cheryl.
Yes,
let's make it happen.
I'm hoping that the media comes out and really captures the lecture. Yes. And Raphael is also our MC, or chairperson for the evening, and you have the opportunity to ask questions and have your questions answered from the Honorable Senator. You can ask the questions, and Raphael is going to lead us through the whole proceedings on Monday,
All right.
7 o'clock, UWA Pavilion.
All right, wonderful stuff. Thank you both for coming in and sharing with us.
Thank you all.
Absolutely wonderful thing for you to do. So make sure you get in there. Limited spaces is coming up on Monday at the 3Ws Oval, UWK Hill, and it gives you an opportunity to hear more about the late Matthew Farley. Stay with us. Coming up, we are delving into some best practices when it comes to taking care of baby. That's very important. So stay tuned.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, welcome back. We're heading quickly toward the 7 o'clock hour. I certainly hope you're enjoying our discussions today. Remember, you can reach out to us, morningbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. morningbarbados@cbc.bb. If there's anything you'd like to see or share, if you have questions, of course, we will look at your emails. We're very, very responsive, and we invite you to follow us online. We are wherever socials are found. So we're joined now by Dr. Gillian Birchwood, no stranger to Morning Barbados. She's consultant pediatrician and neonatologist at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, and she's been sharing with us for many moons. So good to have you with us on this beautiful Thursday.
Good morning, Tisha, and good morning, Barbados.
Wonderful. And a fresh face, Nurse Mary Thompson, who is a forensic nurse examiner. I had to do a little convincing, but here you are. So it's good to have you with us as well.
Thank you, and good morning, Barbados.
All right, today we have to have a very interesting conversation, and you kind of laid the pathway through one of your previous visits to Morning Barbados, talking about safe sleep practices for babies, which is very important. And I don't think that I'm speaking out of turn in saying that we've heard about many deaths to little babies attributed to maybe the types of sleep practices that parents are engaging in. So by talking about safe sleep practices, what do we mean? Let's lay it out.
Well, globally, every year and in every country, unfortunately, we'll have perfectly healthy babies who go to sleep with their parents, and for some reason, they never wake up again the next morning. And it is clear that, there are factors which are associated with it. It is called sudden unexplained infant death syndrome, because it used to be called SIDS. Now it's called SIUD, SUD, sudden unexplained infant death. And as I said, it happens in every country, and there are things that we can do to prevent this from happening in our children.
All right, for you, Nurse Thompson, in your work, have you encountered cases of this SUID?
So I've seen it while I was in the hospital, and that is many moons ago. But I would want to stress that some things can be prevented if we start with the proper education. That's why we impress on persons as soon as you know you're pregnant, check into one of our polyclinics where you can have the appropriate antenatal care and teaching that will make you better prepared for the arrival of this baby and the safe practices that you should engage in while caring while you're still pregnant, and at delivery, after delivery, and when you take that baby home. I want to stress that we have a phenomenal public health system. I know that we have challenges, but we are one of the countries in the world where midwives go out and visit you at home to see how, and this was prior to COVID, we had a halt in COVID, but midwives go out and visit you at home to make sure that you are caring for that baby. We'll talk something about latching on the baby because there's safe ways to do that. Keeping the baby at home, not putting him in the same bed as mommy and daddy to sleep. The coroner always says that tiredness is no excuse for a death, and there are specific things that we must do to minimize death of our children.
All right, so Dr. Birchwood, let's delve into that a little bit more. And that's something that we've been hearing a lot about, is certainly a practice that some might chalk up to socioeconomic conditions, even age, circumstance, but bar all of that, let's talk strictly best practices.
Right.
What not to do and what we should.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we should do is make sure we follow the ABC rules for baby for safe sleep practices. A means baby should sleep alone. That means baby should be in a safe place like a crib or a bassinet or one of those play yards that are designed for babies to sleep in. So babies should not be sleeping with the parents or the siblings or the family dog. Baby should be sleeping alone. B means baby should be sleeping on his or her back. This is going to help to keep the airways open, and we can ensure that that is going to really reduce the risk of sudden unexplained infant death. And C means that baby should be sleeping in the comfort of their crib. So A, B, and C. It doesn't have to be a crib, but again, a safe sleeping spot would be very important. We are aware, as you hinted, with socioeconomic circumstances, that sometimes it is frankly a challenge for parents that they may not be able to afford a crib or a separate bassinet or something along those lines. But that does not mean that you cannot create a safe sleeping space for baby. So to really have real talk, sometimes if you don't have that, you can actually use a drawer. You can take the drawer out of the chest of drawers, empty everything out, and you can get a little piece of firm foam that is cut to suit the size of the drawer. You can get a box where the top is cut off, so there's no risk that cover is going to cover baby. And again, you can get a firm piece of foam put in there, and that is a perfectly safe sleeping space for baby in the early stages. Obviously, as baby gets older and is sitting up and so on, that's not going to be safe anymore. And this is for parents who simply cannot afford a crib. That is still a safe sleeping space as long as you empty that. No soft, cuddly bedding, no bumpers in that crib, no stuffed toys, no pillows. Baby should be alone in that bed. So there are alternatives if you don't have a crib or a bassinet.
Yeah, and I know you were reinforcing initially, what the polyclinics and the nurses and the midwives do when they go out by way of information, sharing with young parents or new parents. What are some of the other things that you would like to share based on what you've experienced and what you've seen, the challenges that have happened, the deaths that have occurred, to how we should approach taking care of babies?
Two specific things come to mind, and I want to piggyback on what Dr. Birchwood said in terms of when we get a baby, we are fussy with this baby, and everybody wants to give the baby a toy, a gift, and very often it's a stuffed toy, a teddy bear, a dog, and those are things that can smother baby, right, and cause death. The baby can turn over.
Tell us what you mean by smother.
Sorry, the baby can turn over. It can cover the baby's face, and you don't have to cover it for 5 minutes, sometimes just a minute, and that baby could decelerate or be compromised because the breathing can't happen as it should, because this toy, whether it be something stuffed or not, even plastic things, can prevent the baby from breathing, and that is a very high risk. And if you look at most cribs now, they usually have a note on them saying no extra things, no stuffed toys, no plastic. Even if they come wrapped in plastic, they say remove this can be a threat to your baby. So that is one thing that we really want to emphasize, because we think that baby needs something to snuggle up into. Covering babies in blankets. Sometimes, babies, they move, they expand, they stretch, and they can cover themselves in that blanket while you are not watching. And that is a serious threat to the life of your baby. I want to speak a little bit about breastfeeding, because sometimes mothers can become tired and exhausted. When you are breastfeeding, you need to be awake and alert. Make sure that you are latching the baby correctly onto the breast, and that the breast is not, remember, it's a very comforting position, and we don't want that breast to fall down onto the baby's nose, or you have the baby so snug or pushed onto the breast that it impairs the baby's breathing. And we usually ask people sometimes, particularly if you're well endowed, to use your hand, make sure the nipple is and the areola is in the baby's mouth, but the extra tissue that you have here, that you sort of press it back so it doesn't smother the baby. We want to think about terms of when you take baby out, because sometimes you can be distracted and you can leave that baby unattended. thinking of what you're doing. Don't get out and leave the baby in the car. And I don't want to create memories or bad memories for persons, but you can leave a baby in the car and the baby can die simply because of the heat that is in that car. We talk about safety when you're driving. Mom, sit in the back of the car. If you don't have a car seat, you're supposed to sit with that baby. Ideally, you should have a car seat where that baby is strapped in the back of the car, not in the front seat, and the seat should be facing backward. And those are simple things that we can do that would ensure safety of the baby, coupled with your immunizations, your feeding practices. These are things that will ensure safety of our babies.
Final word from you, Dr. Birchwood.
I think that it's important for people to recognize that losing babies who are perfectly healthy is a reality that happens in countries around the world. We can definitely do things that will help to reduce the risk of losing babies. Safe sleeping practices are doable no matter what socioeconomic bracket you may be in. And we can certainly follow the basic principles of making sure baby sleeps alone, that's A. B, putting baby to sleep on the back. And C, making sure baby's asleep in the crib or another sleeping surface that's suitable depending on what you can afford.
Yeah, and we definitely have to continue this conversation. This is just the beginning. Of course, we're talking about little babies, but as we move through, we see people with babies, young children standing in the middle of cars. Yes. I know as a young mom, it was challenging for me to consider putting the baby in the back, particularly when I was driving, because to be able to reach her if she needed something, you know, it was challenging. But then it's even more danger to put baby in the front of the car.
Absolutely.
So there are many other things for us to explore, but for today, we want to leave you with something very simple. ABCs. Baby should sleep alone, on baby's back, and in baby's own crib or baby's own space. And Dr. Birchwood gave you an example of what you can do. Whatever your circumstances are, you just should know that you should never sleep with baby in the bed. Never. And you should be fully alert, as Nurse Thompson told you, fully alert when you are nursing baby. I know that new moms and young moms can be very, very tired in taking care of the new baby, particularly if they have colic or they might be a little antsy, or you know, they've not developed a sleep rhythm. So just bear these things in mind. We want to see all of the babies, all of the healthy babies, all babies generally, you know, live and grow up to be just like us. Thank you, ladies, so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, wonderful. And again, this is the start of the conversation. This is definitely a conversation on taking care of the little ones that we will continue, one that Dr. Birchwood started with us here on Morning Barbados. And I'd like to take the opportunity to say a very special thank you to Magistrate Bannister, who's the one who reached out and asked us to be able to at least have this conversation again. It's time for a break here on Morning Barbados, but do stay with us. We have much more coming up.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 7 o'clock on this Thursday, November 21st. Time now for an update of the news. Work is ongoing to make some healthy foods more affordable to Barbadians. The assurance from co-chair of the Barbados Childhood Obesity Prevention Coalition, Nicole Griffith. Speaking during a press conference, she says the creation of a VAT-free basket of healthy goods is being spearheaded by Dr. Kia Lewis and the Department of Commerce.
Being healthy does not become an option, but it becomes something that everybody can actually afford. And that is one of the major things that will make way when it does, because we're seeing when it does, so that we can have those items. And so we're not talking about the average VAT-free basket that has some items in it otherwise, but we're talking about a healthy basket that will contain those fruits and vegetables and those items that sometimes we see as top shelf items that should really be items that are affordable to everybody.
As the country continues to experience a chicken shortage, Ms. Griffith is encouraging Barbadians to consider alternative yet affordable forms of protein.
Peas and your legumes that we love to put in our rice and peas. When we have those rice and peas, I know we love to have the chicken or the fish along with it, but it is not necessarily needed, because that contains, if once we have the amount of those legumes or those peas in those dishes, we would have covered the protein serving for that particular meal that we are having. So if we can, we don't want our children to be malnourished because of any shortages or because of a lack of funds. So we want you to be able to, get them familiar with incorporating the peas and the legumes and incorporating the nuts once they are appropriate age to consume nuts. There are ways to do that.
Barbados is being told to consider introducing a national boot camp for primary and secondary students, causing problems in schools. It's coming from Director of the Barbados Youth Advance Corps, Hallie Haynes, at the At-Risk Youth Foundation Youth Conference to commemorate World Children Day. Mr. Haynes says such a targeted intervention should focus on discipline and behavior modification of these students before they are reintegrated into the regular school population. He notes the same call was made by former Chief Education Officer, now retired Permanent Secretary Dr. Karen Best a few years ago, when there was heightened discussion about the alarming incidences of youth violence in the country.
I want to publicly state that there is some merit in Dr. Best's submission. And this can be one of the targeted interventions to address the issue of youth violence in its early stages, the primary school and the secondary school. I want to state that such a program must be well crafted and resourced. In addition, the parents and guardians of such enrollees should be required to participate in a program geared at enhancing their capacity and competencies as it relates to parenting, understanding adolescence, and enforcing and reinforcing discipline, among other things.
Meanwhile, founding director at Risk Youth Foundation, Dr. Lisa Jagannath, says there is a need to effectively eliminate violent thinking.
You think about teachers as they remain on the front lines, risking their safety of person and property as the first responders to violence in schools. At some point, we must reflect as individuals, as communities, as a society, and engage in a comprehensive approach that addresses the root causes of this troubling mindset.
A non-governmental organization will be taking cases to government and concerns about blinding lights on vehicles at nights. The revelation from President of the Barbados Association of Retired Persons, Mornin Barbados, as that body rolls out a certified taxi service for members. Trevor Thorpe has that story.
Complaints about glare from modern vehicle headlights at night are growing. Several people, many of them elderly, say they prefer not to drive at that time because their vision is affected by the brightness from oncoming traffic. President of BARP, Mornin Barbados, admits getting legislation in place to address the concerns will not be easy, but she says they want to look out for their members.
Of course, we intend to lobby government, but in the interim, we wanted to put something in place for our members.
The Road Traffic Act is clear on lights on vehicles, according to Chief Licensing Officer Trika McCarthy-Brooms.
Sections 22, 23, and 24 of the Road Traffic Regulations speaks to the matter regarding wattage and color of headlamps on vehicles. However, the licensing authority has only received a small number of complaints this year regarding bright lights, and no registration numbers were given to us that we can have these vehicles inspected. Persons may report their concerns by emailing us at blasupport@barbados.gov.bb. It should be noted that the licensing authority fully supports initiatives that are compliant with the law and for the comfort of BART members.
Ms. Rice-Bowen says the BART certified taxi service is a 2-year agreement with an option to renew and gave details.
We reached out to our partners at Lyndhurst, and together together this morning we can speak to the BARP certified taxi service, which will be available to BARP members from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Operations Manager at Lyndhurst Limited, Bonita Springer, says the company is pleased to be on board with BARP.
The process will be from 6 in the evening to 6 in the morning, and this is extended to all BARP members who are, I assume, in good standing.
Definitely.
And of course would have to produce their BARP cards to our drivers to make sure that we know. Part of the process is also when the BARP members are attending functions, they would need to book with us at least 2 or 3 days in advance so that we can organize the transportation and have them transported to their event and return safely home.
The BARP certified taxi service started today and will be available island-wide. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
As we take a look at sports, Barbados senior men's national football team failed to qualify for next year's CONCACAF Gold Cup after a 5-3 victory, or a 5-3 defeat rather, by the Guyana Jaguars in a high-scoring second leg of the nation's league play-in. Needing to overturn a 3-goal deficit from last week's first leg that was held here at the Wildy Turf, the Tridents were undone thanks to a first-half hat-trick from Osaze de Rosario at the Lenora Stadium. CBC's Anmar Goodrich-Boyce reports.
Prior to kickoff, Barbados in blue knew that only a victory by 4 clear goals would see them through to next year's CONCACAF Gold Cup prelims, as Guyana led 4-1 on aggregate after last week's first leg. However, despite the Tridents enjoying the most of possession early on, it was Guyana who struck first. Osaze de Rosario left unattended, and that's 1-0. The score remained that way until 5 minutes from the halftime whistle. De Rosario being escorted to the bar and slots it home supremely. Long way back now for the Tridents. Guyana added a third for good measure on the verge of the interval. Diving header from De Rosario, hat-trick complete. Guyana unstoppable with a 3-0 advantage. The second half, however, is where the plot thickened. Now Reece Stephen delivered a majestic out-of-the-boot pass for Thierry Gill to produce the all-important touch. Barbados with one back. But Omari Glasgow, who scored twice in the first leg, added to his tally. This free kick was threaded through the eye of a needle. Guyana breathing easy with a 4-1 lead. Reece Stephen, however, is a man in the best form of his life. And here you can see why. Collecting the pass from Omani Leacock, bamboozling his marker and the keeper. The Trident's trail 4-2. Hold your nerves though, because Barbados had more ideas. Guyana defenders backing off and allowing Gill to deliver this into the top corner. The Tridents in combat mode. But any hopes of a famous draw were dashed late on. Barbados went in search of the equalizer and were hit on the counter-attack. Guyana switching defense to attack, and Isaiah Jones wrapping up proceedings. Last touch by the Barbados defender, but Jones was awarded a goal as it ended. Guyana 5, Barbados 3. Anmar Goodrich Boyce, CBC Sports.
Thank you so much, Anmar. And that's news at this time. We have a full package coming your way at 12 noon here on CBC TV8. Or if you're on the move, you can tune into our radio network of stations, 98.1 The 1 FM, 94.7 FM, or Q 100.7 FM for the CBC News World at 1. Of course, you can stay locked on to our stations and updates of news frequently on social media as well. It's time for another break here on Morning Barbados, but do stay with us. There's much more coming up.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, for those of you who love desserts, you're going to love this segment. We're telling you about a two-day cake exhibition. Well, desserts and a whole lot more. People who know a whole lot more about it are here to tell us about it. Joyanne Tate-Taylor is tutor 1 at the Hotel Operations Acting at the Gina Normal Holder Hospitality Institute. I'm still getting accustomed to the name. Yes. You have to pardon me. I'm one of these people still saying Sherborne, at St. James School, at Garrison. You know, it comes with the age. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Grow it with it. But wonderful to have you here with us this morning.
Thank you.
Also here is Chef Tony Simpson, who's food preparation instructor at the Gina Normal Holder Hospitality Institute. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning.
And I've been talking about familiar faces all day, so it's wonderful to see you.
It is lovely to see you as well.
You know, here in Barbados, when you see somebody, you know you have to, wait, how you doing?
I see you so long. Yes.
How your mother, you know, all that goodness aside, you're here to talk about the Institute's cake exhibition and Independence launch. So let's talk a little bit about this exhibition, how it got started and where we are today.
So the exhibition started in 2016. It was born out of a need for our students to do more detailed pastry work. So our program, our Associate's Degree Culinary Arts program, is more geared toward food, and we have modules of pastry. And so our students back then expressed an interest in doing fondant work and pastillage work, royal icing work. And so my colleagues and I, we devised this exhibition where our students would have a theme, they would design a cake, and then we would present it to the public. It has since evolved, and we have added tasting elements to this exhibition. So this year's exhibition is called World of Desserts, and the assignment remit was that students were divided into groups, and then there was a lucky dip, and you had to choose a region. And there were 8 regions of the world: North America, Caribbean, Latin America, Oceania, Asia, Africa, Middle East, and Europe. And there were specific countries that they needed to focus on. And so they designed their cakes, and they chose desserts that had some traditional element, and then they mixed some of the techniques that we learned in class to produce these desserts. And the exhibition will be held on the 25th, Monday the 25th of November, and Tuesday the 26th of November from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Gina Norma Holder Hospitality Institute in the Pelican Room, and it is free.
Oh, wow, that sounds extremely exciting to have the students be able to display their desserts in this way. Talk to me about what's happening in the classroom in terms of the preparation.
Oh, that would be Tony.
So, the way how the class is set up is that the students, as I said, are divided into groups. And so you have to do some research, because the whole aim is to expand their knowledge, to teach them so that they can learn about things that we wouldn't necessarily have here. And so in their groups, they planned, they've done their designs, they've done drawings, they've done prep lists. We've had them do requisitions, because we have a requisition system. And so it is all in an effort to help them to learn how to organize and collaborate and work in a team, resolve conflict. All of those things are happening along with the culinary, the pastry technical skills.
Of course, we talk about pastry technical skills and what they're doing specifically for this exhibition, but there's a broader view in terms of fitting into the institute itself. So maybe you can address, what's happening from that perspective as you ask people to come in on this occasion and share. Not the first time that you've done it, but certainly first time I've heard about something dedicated specifically to desserts.
Well, at the Hospitality Institute, we are basically responsible for preparing our students for the hospitality industry in various areas, various disciplines. Front desk operations, restaurant, front of house, the kitchen. So in in that scenario, we have our classroom, which is the Muscovado restaurant. So the Muscovado restaurant is a practical classroom where students are able to interact with real life guests and so on and so forth. So we have second years, so they're actually celebrating independence, and on the 24th, another second year group, they are also going to be presenting a package, a pre-celebration for independence. On the Sunday, it's a buffet lunch. So we're looking to only have about 60 persons. The room can hold 100, but we want to keep it to 60 so that we're able to assess the students effectively. So, and in doing that, we are really requesting the support, because the students are going to be involved in doing the preparation, all those things that Tony said, requisitioning, themes, looking at centerpieces, deciding on napkin folds, and things that relate back to the theme, which is pre-independence. They have designed their menus, prepared their menus. They have certain things like chicken soup with a choice of pigtails. Then you have one of the salads would be breadfruit salad, pickled breadfruit salad. The carvery is a ham. You know how Bajans feel about their ham. And then you have your flying fish and lamb stew, and your chicken, roasted chicken, served with yam pie, dry peas and rice, and we're gonna finish off with soursop ice cream, and cassava pone. So our ice creams, again, are made, homemade, at the Institute by our students with the instructions of the instructors.
All right, so that's a wonderful way to celebrate independence as well. No better way than to be able to support the students who will make up the next class of employees representing throughout our hospitality sector. Definitely a great way to be able to not only engage with them and show them our support, but certainly to come in and share with them how we expect to be treated as well. I think that is very important. Now, moving away a little bit from the Independence Lunch, after talking all about that, I can see how that truly reflects our culture and heritage, but also through this display, we're now opening them to customs and practices and so on of the world.
Yes.
So that is of equal importance as well.
Most definitely, yes.
Yeah. So from you, why would you encourage people to come out to the students and maybe to new students looking on who might be thinking this could be a possibility next time around? What would be your best advice to them?
I think that the Gina Norma Hospitality Institute is one of the hidden gems in Barbados, and the public really should come out and support our students to see what's happening. We go to all different types of restaurants in Barbados. Why not come to the nexus of it all, where it begins, where people in the hospitality industry learn the skills, learn the foundations of hospitality and service, and of culinary and pastry techniques. This is where it begins with our students at the Hospitality Institute. And of course, it's free. The exhibition is free. The lunch is not free, but the exhibition is free, and come support them. They're they're working really hard at getting these cakes together. Some of them have never covered a cake in fondant. Some of them have never iced a cake with buttercream. And so, they're very proud of the work, and we should come out and support them, see what it's all about, taste the stuff. They're going to be tasting elements, so come out and taste.
So let's talk about the shape the exhibition will take. Is it a situation where all of the cakes will be displayed and then the students are required to present? How does it work?
So because of the amount of students that we have, we are actually going to be presenting on 2 days. So on Monday, we will have 4 groups presenting, and they are North America, Caribbean, Latin America, and Oceania. And so you can come in and you will see their cakes displayed, and you will taste their elements. And then on Tuesday, Asia, Africa, Middle East, and Europe their cakes will be on display, and you will taste their elements. Monday's cakes will still be up, but you won't get to taste their elements. You'll get to see on Tuesday. You will see all of the cakes displayed, but only be able to taste Asia, Africa, Middle East, and Europe.
I look forward to seeing the final presentations representative of each of these various regions of the world. And I'm sure a final word from you as to why people should come out and be a part of this culinary representation of our own cultural heritage.
I would like to say that successful education and learning is based on repetition, constant repetition. And that's what the Muscovado restaurant and this exhibition allows for the students. In the exhibition, the students are able to interact with the guests and develop interpersonal skills and so on. And they're able to, as they are practicing, the repetition is taking place and learning is happening. In the restaurant, on the Sunday, the same thing is happening. The students are practicing, and not only on Sundays. Our restaurant is open Monday through Friday. We have a beautiful gourmet experience on Friday nights, and that's a 5-course meal inclusive of a glass of wine. We have some beautiful experiences at the Hospitality Institute, Hotel Palmarine. and our students need the repetition, and I'm asking the public to give them that opportunity.
All right, beautiful stuff. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
And congratulations to the students who are preparing for this fantastic occasion, or these occasions. So the exhibition happening on Monday and Sunday.
Monday and Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday.
And the buffet lunch
and the buffet lunch on Sunday. Go out and represent and support the students of the Gina Norma Holder Hospitality Institute. And thank you both for coming in and sharing with us.
Thank you for allowing us.
Absolutely. So happy independence to the students. I hope you do well on the testing. All right, time for a break. Stay with us. Coming up, we're going to tell you about something happening with the Roman Catholic Diocese of Barbados. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
94.7 FM with the kind compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL.
On November 30th, get ready for a night of phenomenal performances. Get ready for Soca Goes Gold 6, brought to you by the Eden Lodge Youth Charitable Trust. Proceeds in aid of their 2024 Christmas feeding program. CBC is a proud sponsor of Soca Goes Gold 6.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, it's moving quickly. It's 7:28 already. I can hardly believe it. It feels like it's maybe 7 o'clock, but you know how it goes sometimes. They say time flies when you're having fun or enjoying yourself, which is what I'm doing today, as always. So a special good morning to those of you who are tuning in from across the world. I had some friends from the UK talk about the snow on the ground. Some better conditions today. So have a great day for those of you tuned in to Morning Barbados from the UK. It's time now to tell you all about the Roman Catholic Diocese of Bridgetown's second annual charity walk. And we had the pleasure of having them here last year to talk about the inaugural walk. So Christopher Williams, who's communication officer with the Roman Catholic Diocese of Bridgetown, is back with us. So welcome back, Chris.
Good morning to you and good morning to Barbados.
Good to have you here. And he's brought along Rush Scantlebury, who is a youth leader with that sect. Good to have you with us as well.
Thank you. Good to be here as well.
All right. So Christopher, here we are. I can hardly believe we're into year two, another year.
Year two, I can believe it because some work falls back to me. So I know that we're into the second year, and it's great to be moving on, and we hope to be around for a long time. The actual event, the charity walk, this year is Run and Walk to Help, and the subtitle is A Journey to Uplift. And it's really an opportunity for the Diocese of Bridgetown to kind of step out of its comfort zone to raise funds in a very healthy way, so to speak, because the church relies on funds for its ministry to the poor and the needy and vulnerable. And too often churches are inward and they try to collect the money from collection. But this one is an opportunity where we have an event that is very broad-based. There are many people in the island, including myself, who would be into walking and running. And there are lots of walks and runs going around, and there can never be enough. So we are in it. This is our second year. Last year was a success, and we hope to be even bigger and better this year.
Absolutely. I mean, if I have to ask you what the purpose of it is, then the name, I mean, it is as it says, walk or run to help. What does this help entail, Rosh?
The help entails, as Chris would have mentioned earlier, the church's ministry to those in need. So the proceeds will go towards things like the St. Vincent de Paul Society that does a lot of good charity work in the island. It'll help with the ministry that each church does individually, whether that be giving hampers or just working with people in terms of spiritual guidance and stuff like that. It'll help with a lot of the assistance that the church offers, and I'm glad that we have something like this that's on the ball, starting to pick up steam now.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and I should mention too that the church has been a donor to one of the island's children's home. So some of the proceedings from last year went directly to a children's home, and this year we will do the same thing. The walk takes place on Sunday the 1st of December, so it's soon upon us, and the route basically is the same as last year, where we will start by the stadium and we will travel what people will describe as the old Kadooment route, where we will come down to Station Hill and onto Bank Hall and then make the right turn to come back up to the stadium. So it's like part of the old Kadooment route. Mentioning Kadooment, I can tell you that the run walk caters to three demographics. If you're a serious runner, this year we can accommodate you because there's some guys and girls out there who are into running. So there'll be prizes for the runners, and then there's some serious walkers as well. So you enter and there'll be prizes there for you. But then there's some, maybe like myself and maybe you, who in it for the fun. So we have fun walkers, and we will have a music truck there to help you enjoy yourself. So the walk should appeal to all three of those sets of people. And in terms of your concept, that is a music truck, but it will be playing church music. I can tell you that there are lots of music that can drive you. Don't forget that the church was the first people that invented raise your hand, so. So come and be a serious walker, a serious runner, or just be in it for the fun. But the other side to it is that your $40 contribution to the church really and truly is your contribution towards the cause. Because let's identify the cause is really to help, and sometimes we gloss over it and we pretend it's not there. And the church don't bring any cameras whenever the church has to deal with the vulnerable and the needy. And when I say the church, I don't just mean the Catholic Church, I mean all churches. And money has to be there to be available to help the poor. So your contribution of $40 goes towards a good cause. It's a good exercise, a healthy exercise, and you can register online, or we have some registration points, and Sky Mall being one of those points.
Absolutely. And the changing face of what was once deemed poverty is why there is the need for us to help. Because I think at this stage, all we can do is say that we need to help those who are in need at that time. Because there are so many people now who, they're stepping out and saying, I'm in need, and you wouldn't necessarily have them within the parameters that you would have, or checked off the basic things that we thought would have constituted those who would be in need. So there's an even greater need, and I know the role that the church generally plays in helping those in our society who are in need. From your perspective, did you have an opportunity to participate last time around? So to review it for us, how was it then? And what are you looking forward to most this time around?
I think last year was a really fun time for me. I was actually one of the people in charge of maintaining the water stations as people went along. So I would get there ahead of everybody and help set up the water and give it to people that were passing by. I think it is going to be a really fun time. I'm definitely more of a casual walker, so you won't see me there running, but the atmosphere with the truck and everybody just walking and, you know, not just dancing along, it was really fun to watch and be a part of. This year I'll definitely be doing a bit more walking though, because Chris said he wanted the younger people to do a bit more of the legwork instead of just working at the stations.
Yeah, I want to encourage the young, well, this is internally in terms of the young Catholic, but generally the invitation is for everybody
to come out quickly. I know there's a partnership with the Child Care Board.
Yes, I mentioned it earlier that one of our commitments from the proceedings that it goes towards the Child Care Board.
Just to reinforce.
So that's one of the things. So be conscious of that our proceedings are going towards a home from the Child Care
All right,
Board.
Sunday, the 1st of December is when it's happening. The best month in the year, hands down. Okay. I love independence. It's okay. November, people, it's all right. But December,
that's your
month. Definitely the best month to be able to do this walk. It gets started at?
It gets started at 3:30 with a warm-up at the National Stadium. I should give her the number in case people are listening.
Yeah, quickly.
Yeah, 426-3510. 426-3510.
426-3510.
Give us a call.
So make sure you get out, get the shirt. It is the run or walk to help a journey to uplift. This time around, second year. Thank you so much, Chris and Rosh, for coming in and sharing with us. Yeah?
No, thank you.
All right, don't keep on the shirts till December 1st, all right? They have to promote it and stuff, but the guys are going to get these shirts ready to be back on the move. All right, make sure you come out. And if you can't come out, support them by getting the shirts, all right? Time for another break here on Morning Barbados as we head toward the 8 o'clock hour.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
.7 FM with the kind compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL and Probiotics. Guardian General Insurance Limited and the Cut and Drive Network brings live coverage of Cricket West Indies Home Series October 31st to December 19th. Join the action, brought to you by Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL and Probiotics. Guardian General Insurance Limited. Live safe, live easy, and the Cut and Drive Network.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The moment that we have been waiting for. The most outstanding parish ambassadors for the year 2024 go to the parish of St. Lucy, Omari Giddings and Shade Ben.
St. Lucy, make some noise. Congratulations, Omari Giddings and Shade Ben.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Minister.
We have come to the end of our show. can we ask that photos to be done before going on stage to congratulate your parish ambassadors. We hope that you have had a fantastic time with us, have a wonderful evening, and get home safely.
All right, definitely taking in everything there from the end of the Spirit of the Nation show. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You guys said that you were taking it back home to St. Lucie, and you meant it. I mean, come on. Most outstanding parish ambassadors for 2024. Congratulations to the two of you.
Thank you very much.
And of course, Damien, you are attendant of the year as well. What is in the St. Lucie sauce? I mean, you guys have been taking these titles for quite some time now.
Good morning, Tisha. Good morning, Barbados, and a wonderful good morning to the people of St. Lucie. What is in the sauce? Ingredients. Ingredients are in the sauce. There's nothing special to what we do in St. Lucie. We just stay committed. We are dedicated to the task and to the assignments, and we always put our best foot forward when it comes to the Spirit of the Nation show.
And it most certainly is paying off. Omari, what was the experience like for you?
Well, it was actually amazing. It was like surreal. I actually enjoyed every moment of it because it was like the icing on the cake for me. So it was like all our hard work went to a good place.
Yeah, last time you were here, Sade, you guys got to talk about what you were doing in the community, but then that's kind of eclipsed in getting ready for the on-stage presentation this morning. You're here clean-faced, but the face was beat. So I know, it kind of takes a different shape than the community work. So generally, how do you feel about everything you were able to do on the stage the night that really was the culmination of all the community work and all of the other things that you had to put together?
I felt proud, I felt grateful for the opportunity to represent St. Lucie with pride, and it was a fun and very exciting experience.
What would you say was your proudest moment in terms of the presentation? Because you guys have to do a number of things on the night of the show.
Well, my proudest moment would be public speaking for me because I was more of a introverted person. I want to really speak out as much, but getting my guidance from Miss Lynch, our speech Toastmasters, right, our personal trainer for that, she helped me to grow in confidence, and I then was able to stand up and do what I needed to do.
What about you, Sade?
Just like Omari, I had my struggle in public speaking, but before Miss Lynch had taught us what we mostly did not know, I thought I knew everything. But then I heard there were other things then I have to put in there and then leave out certain things, and we made sure that we learned it and we took every bit of information.
All right, and you certainly applied it to this winning sauce that he's still not giving us the ingredients. What about you, Damien? What goes into becoming the attendant of the year? Because having the attendant sit here with the ambassadors, and we've had, all of them here on Morning Barbados, sometimes it seems like, you are maybe a protege or maybe, you are there to kind of guide them in certain ways. What does it encompass?
It encompasses a spirit, and I would liken it to what we have in St. Lucie. We have a strong sense of community. It's almost lending itself to pastoral care. So once you are from St. Lucie, you inherit that need to assist, that need to help. So the persons in St. Lucie are always rallying behind us at the PIC level. So we also have to thank them as well. We have to send them our love and our thanks because they have been our #1 supporters. So that's just it. As an attendant, you just inherently take on that pastoral care role.
It's true, but I mean, this is the 4th consecutive win for the St. Lucie Parish Independence Committee. What do you think sets the team apart? Don't go with this one over here talking about ingredients. What do you think sets your team apart based on your experience as ambassador this time around, as kind of the face in front of all the work that's going on behind you with the rest. What stands out with St. Lucie?
Well, I would say that the special connection that we have with persons within St. Lucie, because when we speak to persons within St. Lucie, they are so overjoyed to meet us and engage in conversation with us. So it then doesn't just become a thing that we do, it's more like a community kind of connection that we have, speaking with them, getting to hear their everyday stuff and so forth.
Yeah? What's the difference for you?
Well, for us, for everyone in the committee, I would say that is dedication, commitment, and hard work. And throughout the years, growing up and seeing the St. Lucie Parish Independence Committee, it was like an idol to me because they had so much activities going on, and the activities were different ways to help the community itself. And it wasn't just about them, but it was about the parishioners in St. Lucie.
All right, I love that. And I can see the passion with you guys. I hear you, and I know exactly what you're talking about in terms of, that community spirit that exists all across St. Lucie in various areas. So, congratulations to you guys. I don't know what else can be said. 4 consecutive wins for St. Lucie. Final word from you, Mr. Attendant of the Year, in terms of, your big win. It's not only a win for you and the parish ambassadors and the committee. Generally, it's a win for the parish.
I would like to say a heartfelt thanks to everyone in St. Lucie, to everyone at the Community Independent Celebration Secretariat, and to our resident advisor, Janice Springer, all of the stalwarts from the program who would have assisted, Miss Lynch, Matthew Williams, Alicia Edwards, persons who just came and poured into the program. We just want to thank each and every one of you in our special way.
Absolutely. I know that you guys both said that the public speaking presentation was another big win for St. Lucie. Just share with us quickly the theme for that particular presentation.
Well, the theme for the presentation was to basically get persons to try and reach out to persons and say that, well, yes, we were able to do it, and we were able to overcome what we were struggling with, so you can do it as well.
All right, that's beautiful. The Committee Member of the Year title also went to the parish. St. Lucie just won in a big way, in an overwhelming way, in a convincing way, again in 2024. Congrats.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys must be exceedingly proud, and with good reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
All right. Give it up for St. Lucie. So anybody working with you today or going to school with you today who is from St. Lucie, you have to give kudos to you. Kudos to you. All right. Time for another break. Stay with us as we go through the week. You're going to get to meet a few of the other teams from around the island who won big at the Spirit of the Nation show as well. Do stick around as we prepare to wrap today's presentation.
A bridge, a fragile thread connecting the past to the present. The now defunct band lives again with the spirit dancing alongside Omari, like the tide crashing against the majestic cliffs of the parish's coastline. As he escorts Sade to the stage, this unique fusion of English and West African beats has transcended Atlantic Ocean that kisses the parish on 3 sides. This oceanic hue captures the natural beauty that defines St. Lucie's coastline. The intricate details and asymmetrical design of his jacket serve as a visual tribute to the contributions and legacy of those male ambassadors. Fitted trousers complete his attire. Similarly, Sade's formal wear pays tribute to the past female ambassadors of St. Lucie, while embodying the parish's heritage and unwavering resilience. The satin bodice of her gown depicts the vibrant, cloudless blue skies stretching effortlessly over the parish on sunny days.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes. and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so thank you for spending a little time with us this morning on Morning Barbados. For those of you heading out to school, I know the little primary school children, you usually leave a little later. Some of you tend to live in your areas, so a special good morning to those of you who will be heading through the door to go out to school this morning, to primary school specifically. Now, music in the square and lit limes, flashing back to when the Golden Square Freedom Park came alive with the sounds of NIFCA 2024, music in the square and the magic of lit limes. We want to share a little bit of that with you if you missed it. Here goes. Definitely a time to show off. NIFCA 2024 now behind us, but the memories will live on. Of course, the pizzas are often featured in different ways as well. We want to give another big shout out to the Barbados Culinary team that went off to Taste of the Caribbean to represent for us, and they did an amazing job, all coming away with gold and silver titles. Special mentions. So that's the entire team as well as the management team. They went off and did Barbados proud, coming up on top with the mixology competition for the mixologist drink, the best non-alcoholic drink as well. Second places for our senior chef and pastry chef. And of course, then we also had special mention for our junior chef in the work that he was able to put in. So congratulations to the entire team. I know there was much training that went into it, lots and lots of preparation, and it shows because you guys came out on top for Barbados. Love that. Excellent. Today is Thursday. That means what? It is Q Day. That's right. Q in the community comes off at Rascals of Barbados on Brandon's today. So it's a wonderful space. You're at the beach. You're not. All in this at the same time. It's a great view. It's a nice breeze. It's good food. It's karaoke. It's a little bit of everything you love about Q in the community. The Q bus is going to leave the Granville Williams bus station a little later this morning, starting at 11 o'clock with the first trip. So you can get there and get back as well. So if you have to use the bus, the Q bus, remember, it's at gate number 1 at the Granville Williams bus station. That is where you can grab the Q bus, or you can tune in to Q 100.7 FM. Kimberly will be on the spot. Andre will be in studio, taking care of you and making sure that you get a piece of the action. If you have never been to Q in the community, now is your time. Head on out and be a part of it. You have absolutely no excuse because there's a bus taking you there if you don't have your own transportation. Otherwise, there's ample parking in the Brandon's area for you to be able to go down and enjoy it. Hey, that's it for today's show already. Thank you for tuning in. Again, congratulations to the ambassadors from St. Lucie and the team generally on their big win. We want to thank you for sharing with us today, and we look forward to having you tomorrow. Now, speaking of tomorrow, coming up on tomorrow's show, we have Guess the Location. We've been enjoying sharing that with you throughout this month as we celebrate the independence. And we're inviting callers to identify the location shown in the video on screen. And then, of course, you call us and we have some fun with that. We'll meet Melanie and John Brewer, who worked on the Trump campaign. They were here on Morning Barbados on another occasion, but this time around, we're going to get their views on exactly what it was like kind of moving around and being a part of that campaign, that now successful Trump campaign for presidency of the United States of America. Plus, Cheryl Willoughby and Alison Roach Plummer are here to discuss the Crime Awareness Month activities that will be happening. We heard about some new findings, and it's going to be great to have Cheryl Willoughby in to talk about that. Plus, Alison Roach Plummer is working with the youth on a number of initiatives out of the Attorney General's office. So we'll catch up on that as well. 13 Degrees North, in association with the Barbados Film and Television Association, will be having a special screening and mixer. We're going to share more about that with you tomorrow. Plus a great initiative of the Coleridge and Parry School. It will all be revealed. The Spirit of the Nation show, we featured them going into the show, and now the grand results are here. So we're going to have some more of the winning teams coming in with us tomorrow as well. Plus, we're getting you ready for sprucing up the home, whether you're doing a little bit of entertaining for independence or you're already getting ready for Christmas. We want to get you in that frame of mind as well. So look out tomorrow for some good ideas on how you can start sprucing the house up for Christmas. That, of course, will be with Kimberly Payne of Emerald Living, and she is a part of the Standard team. They, of course, provide all furnishings and fixtures that you see here on the Morning Barbados program. And then, of course, tomorrow you get a chance as well to win a ticket to Soca Goes Gold 6 just by virtue of watching and listening. So again, I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Remember, you can reach out to us at morningbarbados@cbc.bb. Tune in tomorrow from 6 a.m. for another presentation. Have a great day today, guys. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning.